Hey guys, just a quick video I put together here of a beta demo ride that happened this past weekend out in Western PA, actually in Butler, PA. This is at Switchback Motocross Park, and it was put on by First Bike Motorsports, the dealership that I bought my beta from last year. And it's easily the best beta or any demo ride I've ever been to. The way they put it on, they got all the bikes lined up, and you basically get in line for the bike you want to ride, take it around their loop, come back in, hand it off to the next guy, and then jump in line for the next bike. So by the end of the demo day, there was like no line, so you could basically do the loop, come back, jump on another bike, and you're just constantly riding the whole time. So my slot was from 1 to 4 p.m., and they had a morning slot too, but you come out and they give you a baggie with a t-shirt and a brochure and a hat, all kind of good stuff there, and they feed you. So you get free food, you get to ride bikes, don't have to clean them off, and you ride them all for free and see which one you like. So if you're in the market for a beta, I highly recommend looking for one of these beta demo rides in your area, because I know they travel all over. So if you go to the beta website, I think they have them on there. But yeah, if you're in Western PA, definitely hit up First Bike Motorsports for any betas. So if you're in the market for one of these bikes, maybe this video will help you. I offer my 2 cents for what it's worth, so I hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching.
Alright, I'm on the 250RR. Let me try this one first. I can already tell the suspension's a lot stiffer than my Xtrainer. Got good giddy up. Pretty slimy conditions today too. Get a good taste of what this thing's like in the slop. Great mid-range power. changing gear pretty much the whole time. To get used to this one. Alright, we're going to try this in the full power mode here. Alright, this is the 300RR. Very snappy power delivery. Like to get up and go quick. Power-wise, feels like the Xtrainer up until you get to the upper revs, and then it just takes off. Xtrainer is a lot smoother. I think it's got more low-end grunt, but this one's got great mid-range and top end, of course, being the 300RR model. Suspension on this is better than the 250 that I rode. Not quite as harsh. I don't know if they got the same on both, or if this is just if this was just set up differently with the same model suspension. I don't know. This one hooks up better than the 250, I feel. I'm gonna pass you on your right, bud. Thank you. I like the suspension for the whooped out stuff. Looped that. Suspension works great on there. Alright, that was the 300RR. Yeah, I got traction control on and in dry mode. This is the 390RR. This one feels like a modern XR400 to me already. Oh yeah. This one's comfy. Suspension's a lot flusher on this than the last two that I rode, which was the 250RR and the 300. Whoa. I have to remember that in that swoops. Way flusher. This feels like my 400 with modern suspension. It's got a little more power than my 400, I would say. It's got low end like my 400, but probably not as much as the XR400 low end wise, but man, it takes off mid-range, top end a little bit more than my XR400. This suspension's really nice for woods riding now, I can tell. Not exactly great for this whooped out fast pace stuff, but very comfortable. That's what I'm used to. bike too. Been in second and third gear most of the time, mostly second. Much with like the softer forks seem to get sucked into stuff easier, and I'm seeing that with this one right now. That's kind of what I'm used to. Great dual sport bike. Nice, predictable linear power with this. Kind of runs out of steam up top, but it's got great low and mid-range. Be a nice, like I said, nice dual sport bike. Do some woods riding. If you favor woods riding, it'd be great for a dual sport choice. All right, that's the 390. Oh, I'm sorry, RS, not the RR. RS. We got the 200 Race edition here. I got it in dry mode, go full power. Oh, this likes to sing. Yeah. Alright, I can tell doesn't have the low end, of course, of a cross trainer or that 300, obviously being a 200, but man, you get into that mid-range there, just that little bit, I could tell she likes to sing. If you're one of those kind of guys that can ride at full tilt, man, this would be a weapon. Suspension feels awesome on those whoops. Oh man, this thing likes to rev. Yeah, I like the suspension a lot for this choppy high-speed stuff compared to that 390 and the 250. It feels pretty close to the 300 suspension, probably a little bit better, being that it's the race edition. Like I know this choppy stuff's gonna kill me if I get on that cross trainer. That's the kind of stuff I usually get squirrely in. Man, This is a light bike too, so it's not going to wear you out. Been in second most of this time on this bike. Yeah, this one you just can tell it wants to be revved out, full tilt. Yeah, it's very predictable in that stuff. Whereas that 390 with the softer suspension kind of wallops in those ruts real easy, and the whoop, like this section here, riding down that, like I don't even feel those whoops. Now I can see why my buddies that have the full-on race suspension just leave me in the dust in the wide open stuff. Man, this just soaks up the choppy stuff so good at speed. You can tell it likes to be pushed. He's pushing his bike over this stuff, it soaks it up no problem. And it's a smaller feeling bike too. So I can see myself being comfortable on this thing. And the real tight stuff too. It just doesn't have the low end grunt, obviously, of like Xtrainer or a 300, but I like it still. Alright, this one here, we got the 480RR 4-stroke. Feels like the bars are narrow or something on this compared to that 390 I was just on. Okay, we're in dry mode. Engine braking. Second gear right now, probably what I'll be in most of the time on this bike. It's got nice plush suspension too. Ooh. Oh wow, yeah, it pulls like a freight train. First for this one here. That was first gear for that climb. Into second. You can tell This thing's geared taller or what? Plenty of power. Crazy engine braking. Getting arm pump on this bike. But you can see this won't beat me up. It's fun though. Braking is insane on these things. Now, this bike would wear me out. It's like a 390 on steroids. Definitely wear me out in the woods if I rode this in the real tight stuff. It's great for big hill climbs though. It doesn't like the loop nut stuff too much. It'll soak it up. But man, it's a beast. This is the 430RR. Okay, this is the 430RR-Race edition. I'm in drive mode. Wow. Much snappier. Much snappier than that 480 I think I was on. 480RR, or the 430RR. I'm getting confused. The one I was just on was just an RR 4-stroke, 4 something. Can't remember if it's 480 or 430, but this one feels way more aggressive. Suspension soaking this stuff up better. And just the positioning while I'm sitting, it just feels more aggressive too. This one's more all over the place. I don't know if this has traction control on it like the other one, but this is more just more of everything of the other 4-strokes I've ridden here. This has the same acceleration as my XR650R. And the outright open stuff, this thing is probably feels a lot like that bike. This is going to eat that bike up in the woods, obviously. This thing weighs a lot less. This thing's a handful. If I thought that last one was a handful. This one's a handful, but you can control it better just because it soaks this stuff up a lot easier than that other RR 480, I think it was. It's more of a controllable handful than that bike, I guess you could say. Getting real chewed up here. Feels good. It feels good at speed. Yes, handful, but more in control. Very fun bike, lots of power. I could see myself killing myself on this thing if I had it in the woods, my tight woods, but it'd be fun. That's the 430RR-Race edition. Alright, we're on the 350RR. Dry mode. Very predictable power delivery. Comes on nice. It's got good top end. Mid-range, I guess. I'm not really in the top end of it. Suspension's plusher than that last bike I was on. See how it handles this kind of stuff. Nice. This one's very comfortable. Yeah, this one's very manageable. Mid-range. Takes off, mid-range. Yeah, this one's got crazy engine braking too. Choppy stuff. These softly sprung bikes just don't like that real choppy stuff. Alright, this was my favorite of the 4-strokes so far. The most manageable, but it's still got plenty of good mid-range and snap to it. It's not so much it's going to kill you. So this one would be a good woods bike, good tight woods bike. This is a 350RR. Alright, now I'm on a bike I feel at home on. We're on the Xtrainer. So after riding all those other bikes, feels right at home. I gotta figure out what the suspension is set at. It feels more planted than my bike does, believe it or not. Really haven't messed with mine over the year that I've had it just because it felt good to me. I guess it could get better. most comfortable on this bike by far. Suspension just feels right. I gotta figure out what they got this set at.
So if you couldn't tell, I was most comfortable on the Xtrainer, of course. That's the bike I've had for the past year, so I was right at home riding that bike. The other bikes are all really awesome bikes, I gotta say. I mean, I didn't dislike any of them. I think the one I liked the least was the 250, and that was mainly because the suspension, I think, was set up a little bit too stiff for my liking. The power delivery was okay too. It seemed like it just really had good hit in the mid-range. It didn't have the top end of the 300. It didn't have the bottom end of the Xtrainer or the other 300. So that's probably my least favorite of the two strokes. Out of the four strokes, I like the 350, I think, the most, just because it was the most usable. The other ones were a little bit too big, I think, for my liking. For the open trails, like this open track was pretty good, having that extra power. But I got to think of the kind of trails I ride are the tight single track stuff that's usually pretty slow and technical, and you end up getting really tired quick if you got a heavy bike. So I think the 350 out of the four strokes would be my choice for those. Second behind the Xtrainer, just because I'm so used to it, I would either pick the 300RR or the 200. They didn't have a 200RR model. They had the race edition, which had the KYB suspension. It was a little stiff for my liking. But that bike was super light, super flickable. I'd probably like the RR model better just because it would probably have plusher suspension. So it's a toss-up between the 300RR and the 200RR for my second choice behind the Xtrainer. If I was doing fast-paced trails like this all the time, high-speed stuff whooped out, the 300 would definitely be my choice. But if you're doing the kind of trails I like to ride, just the Xtrainer fits me better. You know, it's not going to be great on the high-speed stuff because of the plusher suspension. It gets a little squirrely, but the fact that it's super light, super manageable. I'm a shorter guy, so I could touch the ground on it no problem. It just fits me the best. So I gotta stick with the Xtrainer, even though I've had it a year. I thought maybe riding the 300 or the 200RR race edition, you know, I might be swayed more towards that, but I still am the most comfortable on the Xtrainer. It's just the easiest for me to ride. That's just my opinion and just from my riding style. So, you know, if you're doing enduros, high-speed stuff, those other bikes are going to probably be a better choice. But for me, the Xtrainer still wins, and that's my 2 cents. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it helped if you're trying to make a decision. If you got any questions, feel free to leave some comments for me. I'll try to answer as best as I can. I'm by no means any kind of expert on these bikes, just giving you my opinion. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.